Somehow, the fear from my past life miraculously faded in that moment. He treated me with endless tenderness, like a priceless treasure he had finally recovered. That night, the red waves rolled, and I finally understood what it truly meant to be husband and wife. On the morning after the wedding, I followed tradition and went with Jack to the main hall to serve tea to the old madam. I had just walked up with the teacup and hadn't even knelt yet when there was a loud bang. The door to the main hall was shoved open. Lucy rushed in with messy hair and swollen red eyes, looking like a madwoman. She dropped to her knees and burst into loud sobs. Mother, you have to stand up for me! Tom is not human! I suffered so much carrying his child, but behind my back he used my dowry to keep another woman outside. The moment she said that, everyone was stunned. The clan elders who had come to drink the bride's tea all stared in shock. The old madam's hand shook so hard that tea spilled all over the floor. What nonsense are you spouting? On such a happy day, why are you here bringing bad luck? Lucy cried like her heart was being ripped out. I'm not lying. My husband didn't come home all night. I was worried he got drunk outside and something happened, so I took people to look for him. A servant said he saw him go to Locust Flower Alley in the West City, so I followed. And then, I found out he was keeping a little vixen in a private house there. That shameless woman is already 3 months pregnant. Mother, you have to stand up for me. Right after that, Tom rushed in from outside with his clothes all messed up. Furious, he pointed at Lucy and cursed. You crazy shrew. Who let you come to the main hall and make a scene? Mother, don't listen to her nonsense. What unknown woman? She's a proper young lady from a decent family. Lucy jumped up and cursed right in his face. Bullshit. What proper young lady becomes another man's mistress and secretly gets pregnant by someone else's husband? She's nothing but a cheap slut. A shameless woman like that ruins the family name. According to the house rules, she should be beaten to death. Tom had been hit where it hurt. Like an enraged bull, he jumped up and fired back. You dare! How do you have the face to talk about Amy? Are you some kind of good woman? You're 10,000 times more shameless than her. Haven't you made enough of a laughingstock of yourself in the capital? If she deserves to be beaten to death, then you should be drowned first. At least Amy wasn't married and didn't cheat at a funeral. The two of them exposed each other's scandals right in front of the elders, throwing filthy insults around. Jack's face went cold and he slammed the table. Enough, Tom, what do you think this place is? Tom trembled in fear but still stiffened his neck and spoke to the old madam. Mother, Amy is the daughter of an official from Jiangnan. She may be born of a concubine, but she is still educated and proper. She already left her family for me. I've made up my mind. I'm going to divorce Lucy and marry Amy as an equal wife. After hearing such ridiculous words, the old madam clutched her chest and nearly couldn't catch her breath. Her vision went black, and the servants rushed to help her breathe. You disgrace, you absolute disgrace. Instead of living a proper life, you insist on chasing these rotten affairs. If you insist on marrying that woman with no clear background, then take Lucy and get out of this household immediately. Once you leave the Marquise's estate, you can marry 100 women for all I care. Seeing his mother so heartless, Tom also stood up stiffly and said with forced confidence, Fine, I'll move out. Amy and I truly love each other. Staying in this house, I have to deal with my brother's cold looks and Anna's attitude. I've had enough. I'll leave today. After saying that, he didn't even glance at Lucy on the floor before turning to leave. Lucy cried and screamed behind him, pounding the ground desperately, but he didn't look back. Afterward, I had my dowry maid go ask around, and only then did I piece together the whole story. It turned out that when Tom studied in Jiangnan years ago, he met Amy at a lantern festival and fell for her at first sight. Amy was pretty and innocent looking, especially good at acting soft and dependent. This time, when her father was promoted and moved to the capital, Amy naturally came along too. She wanted Tom because he was handsome and from a Marquis household, and she didn't care at all about the huge scandal between him and Lucy. As for Tom, he had lost his standing in the Marquis household and wanted to use Amy's father's power to make a comeback. So the two hit it off instantly, burning hot and fast, and started another secret affair. Tom thought that as long as Amy got pregnant, the deal would be sealed. For the sake of family reputation, her father would have no choice but to accept the marriage and support him as a son-in-law. But Amy's legitimate mother was famously fierce and extremely harsh toward children born of concubines. After finding out, she didn't compromise at all. Instead, she beat Amy and threw her out. She even announced publicly that Amy had died of a sudden illness and cut ties completely. Tom was dumbfounded. When he had no choice but to bring Amy back to the small courtyard he rented, he realized her family truly refused to recognize her anymore. The in-law support he thought he could rely on turned into nothing. His whole world collapsed. Now he had 2 women around him, both cast out by their families with no help to offer. Worse yet, neither woman was easy to deal with. Lucy relied on being pregnant with the eldest son and acted like the senior wife every day. Amy thought she was an innocent girl who had followed him, while Lucy was just damaged goods. In that cramped little courtyard, the two fought for favor and fought over the limited monthly money every single day. They even came to blows. The place was so chaotic that Tom didn't dare go home after work. To him, it felt like a living hell. Feeling irritated and restless, he got hooked on the pleasure houses in Pingkang Alley. The small bit of property he received when the family split was soon completely wasted. As for the wife and concubine at home, they had to grit their teeth and use the last of their private savings just to survive.